Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see y'all. I'm here. How's everybody doing? Hey Sean. Hey Toodles. Hey Baking. First one on. Melinda, good to see you. Hey Becky from Bahamas. Good to see you again tonight. Just making some notes in this 2023 book. Making sure we have our do nots highlighted right underneath these codes. Working towards your degree. Awesome. VG, she's here too. Awesome. Hello, Sunshine. How's it going? Good to see y'all. What else do we have here that we can update? We have hernias, distal, ligations. Anybody know the guideline? What if you are let's see. I wonder if I can figure out a question. Let me see. What if you are doing a hernia repair on a patient? You're putting them under anesthesia. And then after you finish the hernia repair, you go on and do a renal procedure afterwards. Do you code both procedures? Do we code both anesthesias? I guess I should say correctly. If you did both, if we did a hernia repair and a renal procedure, which anesthesia are we going to code for? Probably the best place to find a CPT book is Amazon, but really anywhere you can find free shipping. AAPC charges you about $25 per CPT book or per book, even ICD-10 or something, to ship to you after you buy it. So it's pretty expensive. What I like to do is just go to Google and put in 2023 CPT book and then hit shopping, whatever. And then I try to find my best. Optum has it for 107, and I believe it includes free shipping. And see, some of the other stores are super expensive with it. But Optum on Amazon charges, I don't know, that says $23.70. AAPC, look, for those 3 books, it's $100 for shipping. Outrageous. Amazon has free shipping. This quill, I was lucky enough to find an extra copy on Amazon. Somebody was selling for $51, brand new from a bookstore, but they have sold out of the ones they had. But yeah, what's Amazon selling theirs for right now? I just try to find something without paying for shipping because it's ridiculous. Too much for shipping. $134. Is that going to be my cheapest on Amazon without shipping? Sometimes they show you some other options. I've got that one coming too, and I also have this one coming too. So I bought all those off of Amazon. I don't know if they're any good, but I'm always curious to see what they look like and what's in them. So I wanted to get those. The ICD-10, look, Amazon has AAPC's version for $79 with free shipping. You should really get the AAPC version of the 2023 because it has decision trees and stuff in there that AAPC adds that are not in other ones, and they'll use some of that for some of their guideline questions for sure. Yep. I've never looked inside one of these, so I wanted to see what was in there. I don't know, but I always just do a Google search. Shipping, yeah, is killing us. It's already too expensive for sure. You have an ICD-10 from AMA. It's fine. It's just the AAPC version throughout the entire book and including the guidelines has all these decision trees they put in for you, and sometimes they ask questions. But yeah, it's copyrighted for them, and I'm just in the guidelines right there. This is the 2023 version, and they do occasionally use questions. Every single page just about has another one, and you miss out on seeing those if you don't have it. Every single page will have one, and it's from AAPC. So, anyway. And the HipHicks has 800 pages in it compared to AMA or other companies' HipHicks book. It's because they added in all these CMS guidelines in the back, and that's where they get their compliance questions from. So having them both be AAPC versions is super handy dandy. This is the AAPC version of the HipHicks. It's for last year. I don't have this year's yet. It's already paid for. I'm just waiting on them to get here. But this is what I'm talking about. They send all these publications of 100 references from CMS. That is not in anybody else's HipHicks, and they use that. They also have another section called the correct coding guidelines, which are general coding guidelines. Yeah, and they use this for certain questions too. And then the next part was this CMS stuff. Payment rules, all that kind of stuff. I have them highlighted that were practice questions from there, but that's from this publication of 100 references. They don't tell you that. I wish AAPC would tell you that if you're not using our books, then you could miss questions for sure, because that's helpful for you guys to know. But I just search. I search eBay. I search Amazon. I search all kinds of stuff. Let's see my eBay. And just keep looking, because you never know one day to the next what's up there. Where's my eBay? Let's see what that says. CPT 23. That's where I bought mine. It was $51 though. They have some with some bids on it. You don't want the ones that bid. You just want a price. I just want to know how much it is. How much is this one? That's the 2022. We want the 2023. That one doesn't do any good. But let me show you my purchased items. I found that one that was $51 with free shipping. Don't ask me, he had 3 of them, and I wasn't sure if they were going to really ship it or if it was fake, but it showed up a week later and it was there. That was really a sweet deal. And it did show up, so I don't know if they have any more, but that was cool. You just have to kind of keep searching. Account was flagged. Huh. I got mine. I didn't have any trouble out of my eBay one. It was the real deal. Sitting here making notes in it. Didn't have any trouble, but I don't know where they got their stuff from. This listing has ended. They had okay reviews. It was called Books Run is the name of the bookstore. And it seemed to have shipped from them, and it had their return address in someplace, I forgot where. If it was San Francisco or New York, but there they are. They've been on since 2014. They're still on there, and they finally think they corrected their price, and now they have it up for 102. I think they had it listed for 2002's price, but they honored it and gave it to me. So that's cool. You do need a Hit Picks book, but I recommend getting the AAPC version for you for sure. What is this? Account has been flagged again. TikTok reporting banning. I'm getting notifications. Somebody keeps reporting my TikToks as spam or something, and I keep appealing them, and they get approved and put back in, but now I'm getting during our live that our TikTok, I don't know who that is. Is that true? Account has been flagged again. Yeah, somebody's reporting me. I guess I've rubbed somebody the wrong way. That's unfortunate. We had 2 more pass today. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, because this is what I teach off of. This is my platform that I like to teach off of, and that would be a shame if somebody ends it for all of us. I'm here free, volunteering my time for you guys, and with nothing, no expectations. You don't have to buy anything from me or anything. I'm just happy to help you guys. Maybe it's the words that I'm saying of those other stores. Maybe they don't like me saying that, but I keep getting some things. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. It's always hard to remember where they put stuff. But happy that I've helped some people. Let's see, my account. Nope, it's not there. I don't think. Account information. Nope, not there. I always forget where they put this stuff. They always rearrange it. No. Just to see if y'all could tap the likes and the shares, that would be awesome. Maybe they won't fuss at me too much. That would be awesome. Content preferences, ads, language. Sorry, I'm trying to find the place where they put the notifications if you've got anybody trying to take down your TikToks. But I always forget where that's located, so I don't play around in it too much. Ad settings, creator, marketplace, subscriptions. No. I know it's under settings, but who knows where it would be. Privacy, security, balance. Nope. Planning. Screen time report about. I don't know. Community guidelines. There it is. Let's see. No, that's not about me. I was just seeing. They haven't done anything there either. Support? No. No. Anyway, I'll try to find it later and see if there's any violations. But so far, everything's been reversed if somebody does it. Yeah, that was so much fun. We've been posting it in our Discord group in case you are in there. I've posted them all in there. They had some tips on what they were doing, what helped. The YouTube videos, yes. And the prep, the pocket prep really helped that one. And, yep, learning about skimming the questions instead. Yep, helped out a whole bunch. But it's always nice to see which strategy helped the most, you know. But it's a combination of all of them. You need all the tools for sure. Your 5th time in the morning. Best of luck, best of luck. Thank you for the kitty cat paws. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate it. Showing off some support. All right, let me put away this 2023. And I have anatomy questions, anesthesia questions, and something else. Lab and path for tonight. Ooh, gonna be a good Friday night. Good Friday night. Yep. New questions. Let's see if y'all can see. I hope y'all can see. When coding in an office, what codes do we use? Like, what books do we use? You'll use a medical record system. It'll be all in the computer, and it'll be like a search feature in the computer. And you'll just search for diabetes, and then it'll bring up something. It'll bring up the patient's history and say, do you want to pick one of these? It'll have some flags because it'll automatically have stuff put in there that we know that, okay, well, with Aetna, you can't pick this one, all that kind of stuff. It'll all be in the computer system. You won't use any books anymore. Ooh, y'all saw that in there? I'm like, what does that mean, logging off? Does that mean we're okay now? I hope. You probably can't code a infiltration rate because health plans may not want it, or other issues. My questions are directly from AAPC or related to it, and they're practice exam questions to help you in anatomy, and they are questions or from words from people that have taken the exam before and have used and told me what was on their exam. So then I go find questions that are related to what they told me was on the exam, and that's where I find these. What we do just to pass your medical coding certification exam is so different from what we do in real life. For the CPC exam, what codes do we use? Yep, I answered that one. Okay. Thank you, Melinda, and others for contributing to the goal. I really appreciate, guys. Y'all are awesome. All right. If we have a patient who has chronic kidney disease, CKD, and the filtration rate is 18, what stage are they at? Good job, Levy. Good job, Rosalind. Perfect. Yep, we're going to do lab, path, and anatomy. It is stage 4. Here's all the stages in case you wanted to write them down. I wrote them down at the very beginning of the lab and path section. in the CPT book. There's some space available right there, and I just wrote it there. That way, just in case, by chance, you can do a screenshot by swiping right to get rid of chat, and then do whatever your computer or your device does to make a screenshot if you wanted to, and you can write it in later. But I just wrote it in just in case. You never know. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. I think it was that I said those other website sites. Maybe I shouldn't have said those. I'm hoping that that's all it was. I hope nobody was reporting us. All right. Which of the following regions is a part of the head containing the brain? That should not be too hard, right? Well, understanding the ICD-10 book, it's divided into chapters. First thing you should do is read those guidelines in the front that are labeled G1 through G38. Then you should read the features list of the book and the preface. And then there is a page on page 2 that says practical steps for using the ICD-10 book. Read that thoroughly and go look for what it's talking about and where it is in the book so you can see what it looks like as they're reading that one page. That'll help you out a lot. Page 3 is your symbols and conventions. Super important. Then notice that each chapter of your book is separated by diseases. So chapter 1 is going to be all your certain infections or parasitic diseases. And then chapter 2 is all your cancer codes, neoplasms and stuff. So just getting familiar with each section of the book and how it starts will help out a whole bunch. We will do some ICD-10 questions on Monday's live, and we can go through and I can show you some pointers on that ICD-10 book after you read those sections. We have C is the answer. I answered the first time I saw this as cephalic because I didn't read all the answers. And I know cephalic, it can be one of those particular parts up in there, but I didn't read it all the way through. C is definitely the answer. Y'all are smarter than me. Don't know why I was thinking cephalic was in the brain or the head. I guess I was having a brain fart that day. All right. Which of the following medical terminology roots means cause? The difference is not by much. NHA is just another certification organization that certifies medical coders. So is AHIMA, and so is AAPC. They're the three most known. They're not as known as much as AAPC. If you take your certification that you will get from NHA and put it into an Indeed search list, you won't get up as many job offers as there are if you just put in AAPC's CPC. There's over 5,000 job openings right now for that. It's just not as nationally recognized as all. That's all. And they don't let you sit for the exam without taking their course, which is unfortunate. AAPC, you don't need a course at all. You just pay to take the exam and pass it and you're good to go. You don't need any prerequisites to take it. So that's one thing. They force you to take that course, that's for sure. With the CPC exam, what will you be certified as? CPC, you are an overall, all-around coder. You can do hospitalizations, outpatient surgeries, pediatrics, ERs. You can do anything. Home health agencies. It's an all-around general coding certification for all areas. You can specialize and get specialized coding certificates for like cardiology also with AAPC if you wanted to, but if you wanted an overall, I can go work for anywhere, pharmacies, for home health, like I said, ambulance services, helicopter services, surgery centers, hospitals. You can use the CPC for everything. Yep. Billers, I'm not sure. I haven't checked in on billers. It's nothing that I've ever been wanting to be interested in or looked at. Does AAPC do billing? Do they? Yeah, they do, I guess, right? CPB? Yeah, they do. I forgot. I actually took one of their free courses on that during COVID time when they gave it out for free. I have all the questions and screenshots of that from way back then, but nothing that I wanted to be interested in. And I thought, Lord, if I got to take a certification exam off of that thing, that course, I would have been upset. It's super expensive. Yep. Let's get this thing answered. The root word for cause is D. Anybody get that right? Yes. There's the definitions for all of them in case you wanted it. Cairo is nucleus. This one is humpback, sleep, and cause. What about the definitions term for, it's a respiratory term for surrounding. Should be an easy one. Why are you bouncing, camera? Stop bouncing. It's still bouncing. Why are you doing that? That's so funny. Gosh, I'm trying to scooch you in so it'd be bigger font for you, but camera is not happy with that. Perry goes around. Yes. Here's the definitions for all of them, though. Voice, breathing, surrounding, and puncture. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. I'm not familiar. I haven't taken the AHEMA test. I assume so. I haven't had anybody that has said not to, and I've had tons of people pass and help them pass their CCS and CCA, and nobody said anything. I believe their certification, their proctor notes, I have it posted in our Discord group under what to expect on exam day. I have the CPC, AAPC proctors list of what they're supposed to look for or say, and then AHEMA's also posted in there. The last time I downloaded it was last year, and it's actually said that the proctor was not allowed to make a decision whether what the notes said was appropriate or not in a student's or an exam taker's books. It was up to the examee to know whether they were ethically correct in what they had in their books for notes. So I know their proctors are not even supposed to look at your notes and actually make a decision. But it also said that you were able to bring a medical dictionary. And somebody told me on YouTube yesterday that they're no longer allowing medical dictionaries. So I'll have to go get a new updated list of their proctor notes from them. But yeah. They're not even allowed. It even says that they're not allowed to make a decision. So that's cool. All right, incontinence. I did a bunch of these the other night. Here's another new one. What type of incontinence is defined as urine loss due to a condition like a stroke or dementia. Thank you, Rose. Functional is correct. Good job, guys. Here's the definitions for all of them, just in case you need it. We went over dribbling. I think we went over stress, too. We went over to urge, too, so that was the last one I didn't get to. Thank you, Susie. Ooh, I put your name, I think, in the drawing. My boys are not here tonight. And then I had a bunch of people on my Facebook post. I didn't know there was going to be a drawing. Is it too late to enter? But I have them all in there. I don't know. I just don't have my boys right here right now. If you want to enter in the drawing for the raffle, email me here and just put raffle in the subject line, and I'll put you in for the drawing. It's for free notes, free tutoring, and free workshops. You know, you can get a free workshop. I have one coming up December the 11th, yes. But I do need to draw some winners for this week. All right. Radiological position. What position is laying down flat on your back with your face up? What is that one? Yep, everybody that sent me an email got entered, and then the people that are subscribers to TikTok got an extra enter, and then the ones that are YouTube subscribers got an extra enter ticket thingy in there too. So some of y'all got 3 of them in there. Supine is correct. B is your correct answer. Here's the definitions for all of them, just in case you needed it. Yay, Melissa. Great. Awesome. All right. Which of the following regions is in the groin area? Dorsum, axillary, inguinal, coxal. Where's my Pinhurst? Where is that? I got that Pinhurst. I wonder, oops, that's Instagram. That's the wrong one. Can I see my pictures? I want to see my pictures. Mine. I got this lovely picture I used to share all the time. It's true. Wonder which one is the best answer. Region is the groin. Here's the hernia one. So epigastric. Here's the femoral, inguinal, the SIP, and incisional. I love that picture. I always thought it was great. But the answer that they're looking for here is inguinal. Yep. The cochal region is in the hips. Dorsum is in the posterior surface near the thorax. And axillary, of course, is in our armpits. Inguinal is in the groin. But I love to see pictures that actually show you, like, specifically where it's at. So that's kind of cool. I'm a visual person instead of a reader, for sure. All right. This one had me scratching my head for a second. Which is defined as radiation placed over or near a tumor in the body? Thank you for the follows. Hope I can help y'all pass your medical coding certification exam for sure. I got some C's and D's. Did I see a B, or am I just being dyslexic? Got an A. We're looking for radiation. And that threw me. I didn't know that radiotherapy was radiation. Very interesting. Good question. Here's the definitions for all of them. I didn't do that. You know, in labor and delivery, we didn't, and even internalist or family practice, we didn't talk much about radiation. So I avoided cancer rotations like the plague so bad. My granny died when I was 12 of breast cancer, so it was devastating. I just avoided cancer at all cost. Thank you for helping me reach the goals. But that's a good one. That was a good one. All right, embolism. Thank you for the pause. Y'all are awesome. All right, embolism. We got a bunch of A's. A bunch of A's. Yep, sudden blocking of the artery. Yep. It's from a lovely little Greek word that I wouldn't even know how to pronounce, but it means insertion. Good job. All right. Cardiovascular suffix defined as membrane. Thank you for the kitty cat paws. I love them. I'll show y'all real quick. My little man, my little kitty cat. Probably won't focus on him, but he's too big for his cat thing. I bought him a bigger one, but he still stays in his little one. He's too funny. They're so funny. They like their routine. That's for sure. He just hangs out of that little thing. He is a handsome feller. That's the one we rescued in a 6-foot cage. He spent 6 months in a 6-foot cage, or not foot, but yes, I guess it is a 6-foot cage. It was so little. It was so tiny. He's gotten so big since then. Cardiovascular suffix in the membrane is, have I even seen the right answer yet? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. It is A. Y'all are correct. Y'all are correct. There you go. There's your definition for all of them. Stenosis is cardiovascular. I mean, we talk about it in cardiovascular a bunch, but it just means narrowing. It's not the answer that they were really looking for. It's crazy. Yep, pericardium. Yep. Perfect. Anterior transparent cover of the sclera is what? Good job, Sheena. Perfect. I remember there being a lot of eye questions for anatomy on my exam. And I avoided eyes just as much as I avoided cancer rotations. I did not like eye surgeries, foot surgeries, or cancer patients. They were just too hard for me to do. This is a medical coding certification exam. Any medical coding certification exam. Anterior transparent cover of the sclera is your cornea. Yes, indeed. Good job. Good job. It is your cornea. My oldest had his first eye exam this Thursday of this week. That was fun. Cardiovascular combining form defined as hard is what? I try to do all these classes free. I like to teach for free here on TikTok. I do them 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays for 2 hours, starting at 6:30 Arizona time zone, so that you can watch and get out your books and work with me live and interact with the questions. I post the replays if TikTok records them on YouTube, and they're there for you guys to watch too. Hard. Which one means hard? It is sclera. Very good. Here's the definitions of all 4. Hopefully I can help you guys. I like to teach you. Yes, you can code from home. Absolutely, Liberty. Amazon has a job opening for medical coders right now. So, yep, you can definitely work from home. I teach from the exam point of view so that you can pass the exam the most efficient and fastest way possible. Least experience or least education too, so that you don't have to take a bunch of courses. It's not going to interfere with you getting a job. You'll be able to get a job and get to work at a business. They're going to have to train you on their systems and their contracts anyway, so you'll be okay. The outer portions of the disc between the vertebrae. That's awesome, Liberty. You jump on in, girl. Be sure and watch my 3 pinned TikToks, because that'll show you where to start, what books to buy if you need any, and how to follow along with me. That'll get you started. The outer portion of the disc between the vertebrae is what? Everybody saying C? A faucet? It is not. It is B. Don't ask me how to pronounce that, because I definitely don't know how to pronounce it. I got my education from Mississippi, Walls, Mississippi to be a fact. It was just simply called Walls, Mississippi, and I did not learn my phonics. I learned by memorization of how it's pronounced. So I'm a little bit of a disadvantage on some of these words, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Hold on, it's my kids calling. Sorry, guys.
Hi, Jen.
You're live with 200 students. How can I help you?
Travis cut his hair when he was over at your house before.
Y'all are taking him to get a haircut, right?
No, he has to be shaved probably.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, oh, okay.
Yep.
So,
Dude.
Okay, sorry.
And did he used John's shaver here too?
I just noticed it. It looks like he went up his head.
Oh my God, that child. Make sure he gets some sort of restriction tonight for that, please.
Will do.
All right, see y'all later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
My child is sitting there cutting his own hair. Lord, he still acts like he's 2, even though he's 13. All right. Here's your answer for that one. Let's get your next one. Any root words for pathology and laboratory means what? Which one of these is a root word for lab and path? This one's super easy. Super easy. They do. They all do it. Watch a YouTube video or something and get your parents' help. It's the better option. We can teach you how to do it instead of you going for it by yourself. All right, of all the following, which describes this? That was on my CPC exam. I remember that term. It's perfect. Get them all wrong. The best way to learn is to fail the first time. Swear to Bob. I mean, how much stuff have you forgotten that you memorized and you knew how to say at one point and then now you don't remember? But how much stuff that did you do wrong the first time do you know how to do or say now? There's a big difference in all that. So absolutely get all the questions wrong with me. You won't miss it again. Yep. Ah, perfect. That's awesome. I hope I can help you make it a less stressful situation for you starting school in September. All right. We got a lot of C's and a lot of A's. Let me just tell you the answer. Okay, so the answer is A, uterus. The openings, there's 2 of them. One's internal, one of them's external. This one, they always end in OS. So if you ever see the word for this one, B, it'll either say OS or OU. And I'll show you where that is in a picture. I think I got a picture of that. Not that I'm just showing you 2 things at one time, but no, it gets kind of confusing. My ADHD just goes all over the place, and I always think of something else, and I'm like, ooh, cool, what about this? But I'm really trying to show y'all something on something else, but I think it's cool. I just did way too much OB and delivery. I'm thinking that this ICD-10 pages had it in it, but I could be wrong. Yeah, here it is. So in your ICD-10 books, if you have the AAPC version, you've got this picture here, and it'll probably tell you where that corpus ureter thingy is. There's one of them. Where's the corpus ureter? And then the external and internal right there. There's that cervical OS. It's right there. And then there's another one. There's one here, and then there's going to be one somewhere else. It's going to be down here. It's not on this picture. But what I did is on my CPT book is, don't you love my Lazy Susan? My Lazy Susan I put my books up on. Anyway, on my OB and delivery, my female reproductive system. I drew them in. There's the internal OS and the external OS so that we could see them. That makes it a little bit easier just for the exam anyway. Kind of handy. And don't tab your book, and don't buy any tabs from anybody. They're in the way. Don't ever do that. You don't need those things. They're just in the way, and they waste your time. putting those thingies in, by the way. All right. Here's your definitions for all of those. What is the best tip for knowing where the anatomy is? It is taking your book, Googling Google. Every one of the chapter headers for the CPT book will have some anatomy pictures right before you code it with the medical codes. So every chapter has that. So before the codes, if you just Google, literally, aortic anatomy, function, and bring up some images, you'll see that this picture will be there, and it'll be labeled just like this one, but some of them will have extra words that tell you better about what those things are doing, and you just write it in. It's an open book exam, and you can write whatever you want. And if you need to know how the heart is divided up, how many layers there are, what kind of muscles there are, your prefixes, your suffixes, what types of vessels go there, you don't need to memorize anything. Just write it in your book. That way you've got it for when you are taking your exam. Just know where you put your data. That's all. That's the best thing. So literally, Google is the best thing, plus my Discord group, because if you do join my Discord group, I have a tab in a room full of anatomy and all my pictures. And look at this. My other students are posting what to put. I posted this one. There are tons of pictures in here, practice exam questions, everything in the world you could need would be in here. How to do it, what to do with it. Other people are posting all kinds of stuff in here. I'm posting stuff in here. But you just scroll backwards and it shows you what to do. But literally Google aorticanotomy. And yes, I do write the word function because I want to know what the parts do, because that's usually, if they're going to ask me a question, it's about what the parts do. So then I just find these pages. And if it tells me any extra words that are not in that picture, then I draw them in and put them in there. That's the easiest and best thing that I do. Absolutely. I love it when they have the little bitty tiny little paragraphs, because that's helpful, because sometimes they'll tell me even better information. But small little paragraphs. I don't need to read a whole dictation on something, but just something extra than just labeling the body part. I want to know a little bit about what that body part does. So that's the pictures that I'm trying to find. So yeah, Google. The medical coding certification exam is an open book exam. You need to have your CPT, your HIPPICS, and your ICD-10 books, which are these that I'm showing you right here. And you have to have these because you have to code. You have to look up codes based off questions. And the exam is all open book. And you can have whatever you want written in your coding books as long as you're not writing over the top of their printed words. But all the available white space, you can absolutely write on. I am on the AAPC and it shows 23 books. Yes, that book is perfectly fine. AMA is the only one who writes the CPT book. You can get it from AAPC. They're just reselling it to you for more money. But I believe you can buy it straight from AMA. You can buy it from Amazon. It's only one book. They only produce this one book once a year. And everybody else can resell it. You can give AAPC some extra money if you want to buy it from them. That's perfectly fine. But you can buy it from many outlets, whatever you wanted to use. I just try to find one with free shipping because they charge you $25 to ship it to you. Yay! You got my notes, Allison. You got my notes from Etsy and you passed the test. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. I do. If you want my notes like page for page, they are available either at my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com, or on Etsy, but I like to show you how to do it. Make your own notes so you don't have to spend any money on my notes, but it's totally up to you. If time is of an essence and you need to hurry up and you don't have time to Google everything, but you can go to my website, and if you do join it, which is free, you can go here to CPT Book Prep, and it will show you step by step. You just click on the picture and it'll show you what I'm doing and how I'm making up my notes, even that anatomy stuff that I was just showing you, and ICD-10, how to make notes in it. Or you can go to the shop and buy them if you want to, and you want just page by page, tell me what to write, and you look at the PDFs and you fill in the blanks. That's fine too, but you can also go to the social media tab. You can find our Facebook group, our YouTubes where I do all the replays, and you can click this little thing for join now, and that'll throw you into that Discord that I was just showing y'all that has all those rooms. Super handy dandy, especially, all the practice exam questions and all the different rooms for all the different certifications. Super helpful. But yeah, it's all free. All right, another one for CKD stages. My CPT notes are on Etsy. My website has the HipPix, ICD-10, and CPT on it. That's funny. I don't even have a link to my Etsy on my website where I show the YouTubes and stuff. I just thought about that. It's just not my first thought is to link y'all to make y'all buy something. It really isn't. Y'all can watch my YouTube videos, screenshot those, and go to that page with the how to make notes and where to go and what to do. You can make up your own if you want to. But if you need my help, they're there if you need them. I'm a medical auditor. I'm not a coder, but I've been in medical auditing for 12 plus 8. That's 20 years now. I've been a medical auditor using CPT codes for HEDIS measures for 20 years. I've been in the medical field since college was, 2 years of that. And then since 1994 is graduated. Now I had clinicals and all that stuff since 92. So I've been in the medical field since 1992, realistically, like seeing patients. So long time. But I've been dealing with the CPT codes since 9/11, somewhere around there. Yeah, long time. I do go over sequencing. You got it. Yep. I get my CPT book from Amazon, and then I get my ICD-10 and HipPix book from AAPC. When I get my tax return every May, because, I file taxes in February or March is by the time I get around to doing that. And then I get the tax return in May. That's where I purchase the next year books there on AAPC's website and just do it then. And then that way they can send them to me starting in October when they start coming out. I just use that as my every year due. That way I can make you guys some notes out of them. I do purchase everything from AAPC, all three. And then I usually get me an extra copy of the CPT through Amazon. I ended up getting an extra copy through eBay this year, which was crazy. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. I think I got in trouble a minute ago for saying that word. But anyway, yeah, I usually get me 2 copies of the CPT book just in case I need to show blank books or I need to show somebody how to find the answer without having any notes, because there's several international students who still want to take a CPC and they're not allowed to make notes in their book if you're taking it outside of the United States, like in Dubai, and I have to train those when I do tutoring without any notes. So I have 2 of those. We are in stage 1. Thank you for the reminder of where we're at. Oh, thank you. I was thinking about writing up something for them, but they publish those questions and stuff far in advance too. I don't know if my grammar is 100% correct either. They might laugh at my grammar. I'm not much of a writer, but we'll have to see. I guess I should. They have changed so much since I've been teaching online. I know they notice me, and I know they have picked up on what I've been saying, and they've changed their website with the process of elimination, with looking for similarities, with going to the answers first, not reading the questions. They have literally updated their site with word for word what I've been saying. And I love that. Because when I started doing this and was looking through their site for any hints on best practices on how to take this exam, nothing in that said any of that. So I'm happy to see change already on their site. Love it. Just love it. And I think it's super helpful as it is. The changes that's been going on. So I'm so, oh no, your phone's going to die before I get to the lab and path questions. Oh, we need a brick. We need a brick. We need a brick. We need to plug in. Where's the electricity? Okay. Of the following, which describes the vulva? I've only got just like 2 more anatomy questions, and then we'll go to lab and path. Hey, Lester. Come here. Give me some loves. Hey, buddy. Good job. Good job. Uterus, outside into the body. Everybody saying B? D. I got some B's and D's. It is D. This is the definition of all of them, just so you know. That way we can have those definitions written on that female reproductive system page. The one where we've got the female anatomy drawn out. We can add all of these definitions there. Perfect place for that. That way you don't have to memorize it and you know where it's at each time. It was D. Answer was D. Seinfeld. You know, I've got his book here. He wrote his like a self-published book about himself or whatever. It's pretty interesting. All right. Which of these defines flaw, cloud, or crystalline lens? You are welcome. Goodbye. That's awesome. I hope to see you. I do have a workshop coming up. It's the only time I teach and kind of charge for it. It's $10 for 3 hours. We do it on Zoom. We're going to be doing it on December the 11th. You can book that on my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com. I changed the header this week somewhere around here where it says tutoring and workshops, so y'all can find it. It used to say just booking, but it's there if y'all want to. The workshop, it'll be on Zoom. It's 10 hours. It'll be 75 questions in 3 hours because I want to keep in time with the pace of the exam. And we're going to do E&M questions with cases. So that's going to be on December the 11th. If you can't show up, it's 2 p.m. Arizona time. You will get a link that'll give you the log on and password where you can go watch it at your leisure afterwards. Tutoring is back up, but you can see that it has gone up in price. Sorry about that. It's just really, really crunching in on time because I have to go in and I have to create an hour and a half's worth of questions per student just for their criteria. Like if they want to go over E&M, if they're having more trouble with cases or consults, or I just feel so ill prepared if I'm not going ahead of time to prepare their questions. And I need that time to go in for that. And then afterwards, there's always a lot of follow-up stuff or material I need to send them after we did tutoring. So that's why it went up in price. That way I have the time to do the hour and a half of prepping your questions and make it worthwhile for you guys. So anyway, tutoring is up. But I also am going to have some drawings for free tutoring. Just don't forget to email me at medicalcodingbyjen.com. Put raffle in the header, and I will do some drawings for free tutoring for you guys too, because all the TikTok money for the kitty cat paws and all that stuff goes to back into your group here. And I think there's $18 in it right now. So working up to it. Do you have some recorded? I have my exam on December 3rd. Of course, my YouTube is just smack full of videos all over the place. If you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, there is 12 workshops posted on there for free that you, not for free, but for the $4.99. You get to watch 12 of my old workshops. So they're posted on there. Or, yep, not all of them, not the most recent ones, but still the 2 E&M ones are up there that I had, earlier in the year, March and April. They're there. I think we did 40 questions the first one, and then about 40 on the second one too. We weren't doing the whole 75 by then, but it was one of my very first workshops. So they're both on there. Tons of December babies going to be taking up the CPC exam. That's awesome. The answer to this one is our cataracts. There's the definitions for all 4. Understanding medical codes. Knowing that the headers of the book are more important than the CPT code descriptors. Make sure you're under the right header for your surgery. The book is divided up into sections. Anesthesia is all in one section. Heart surgeries are in another section. know the headers before the codes is super important. Be sure and get a really good training on your EHR wherever you're training at. Instead of being just thrown into it, see if you can't get whoever the manufacturer is of the EHR to show you the ins and outs and what you can do with your EHR, because there's a lot of features in them that will help you pick out the right codes if you understand where those features are in your program. If all you know how to do is to look up a patient by date of birth or last name and then click a few clicks to chart, and you don't know how to do any searching of the correct code down to the correct specificity, then it can hurt your coding, of course, because you're going to get rejected claims, which will hurt your billing and all that stuff. So make sure the manufacturer of that coding program is supposed to, and they do offer free training in-house. They'll send somebody to you to do training or do live Zooms with you. Make sure you utilize that fully to really understand your EHR. You'll be much happier, you'll be a much better coder, and you'll chart better if you know all the features for sure of your system before you just jump in there and start trying to limp your way through an EHR and code a patient. So best advice is to really know your system. Yes, it sure is very easy to transition into auditing after billing. Absolutely. You're welcome. Yeah, they don't teach that stuff in residency. There's tons of YouTube videos on whatever EHR system you have. You can also go to the manufacturer's website and ask for a presentation on their system. Tell them that you're thinking about their system for your practice. They will leap over backwards to set up 30 minutes with you to show you their system for sure. Even if you're just going to be a resident and you just want to know about the system before you go into it, you can absolutely go to the manufacturer's website and just email them from there and say, hey, I'm thinking about it for my practice. Technically, you will be able to evaluate it and see how it is, and if you would ever want to put it in your own practice. But yeah, pretty cool. They have the money and the resources to show you all that stuff for free. So perfect. Let's see our next one. Which of these conditions is an organ that is turned inside out? I once delivered a baby with all of his organs flipped. So it was really cool because instead of his heart being, either on the right, it was flipped to the left. All the kidneys were flipped. It was very unique. The gallbladder was on the other side instead of being an upper right quadrant. It was flipped on the other side. And it was really cool. And if you don't pay attention on x-rays on where the left and the right symbol is on the radiology film, you can just think or assume that the tech who shot the x-ray put the wrong marker on the x-ray or something. So it's very rare to see it. But yep, I delivered a baby once that was completely flipped. It was, instead of sunny side up, it was dark side down. I don't know how you say that, but it was flipped. It was very cool. This is exotrophy. It is A. I didn't see very many A's. Y'all were close with the B. You knew the EX, but y'all were close. Here's the definitions for all of them. This is the condition where it's turned inside out. This one is exposing internal structures outside the body for observation. So I got to trick y'all on one at least tonight. All right. Which of the following is defined as a panoramic radiology? Good Lord. Pan means all. C is correct. Good job. Here's the definition for all of them. All right, let me bring up our lab and path codes. All right. So, y'all know me. I'm going to hide the question first. We're going to go straight to the answers. If you're going to take a medical coding certification exam, you really need to stay away from the questions. Do not read the questions. Try to avoid them at all costs, because they're full of propaganda that is there to confuse you. Go to the answers first. See what the differences are in the CPT codes first, and then search the question for those differences only. So 88302. This is our surgical pathology. They get more difficult to obtain the specimen the higher the number is. So 300 is just looking at it with your eyes. 302 is looking at it with a microscope. And then 304 and forward is also looking at it with the microscope, but the difficulty of getting the specimen grows more difficult. Like 304 is our gallbladder. 307 is our craniotomies, and 309 is like resections and big angry cancer tumors and stuff. So right now all we've got is probably knowing how AAPC is. We've got 2 answers that are the same, 2 of them that are the O2 codes. I would focus on those. It's probably just a difference. They want to know, can you times 2 or not on any of these codes? And do we understand it? And, yep. So more than likely, it's a difference between A and C, just because it's the same answer written down twice. So if it was an O2, it would be like little nerves or skins, fallopian tubes, those kind of things. Easier stuff to get to. We did have an inguinal hernia. Somebody already peeked at the question. Where would we put an inguinal hernia? We sort of need to go through these lists underneath each CPT code to see where hernias are, and we do have hernia sac, any location under the 2. Do we times 2 or do we not? The key point is, if you take a specimen and you put it in a jar, right, and it has a couple of little pieces in it, and it's identified as hernia from inguinal area, whatever, those 2 specimens would be the 2 by itself. If they sent you 2 containers that were separately identified, this is the inguinal hernia, and this one is also inguinal hernia. but they put one is posterior and one is anterior, and then they put the specimens by themselves and mark them independently, then you would times 2 it. So you have to find out, are my specimens together in the same jar, or are they separate in 2 different jars? Yes, and because it is separately identified, we do the times 2. Yep. Does that help? Does that help, cowgirl? I can't tell altogether whether what I'm showing you because the cranny thing is in the way over the top of my camera. All right. Me and my drawing skills, but hopefully that's helpful. So, yep, there's our C is our answer. Let's see about this one. We've got 2 that start out, don't look at those second or third codes. We've got 2 that start out with 07, and then we have 2 that are 05. So let's go see what our differences are in those real quick. 803. And if you have my notes, I'll fix it, sorry. 8. If you have my notes, you already know more than most. There we go. So our 805, our 305 in this area is a dipstick. So is our 306. They're both dipsticks. Our 07 is an analyzer. So we just need to know if the doctor ordered a test that is going to utilize an analyzer, or if it's going to use a dipstick, if the nurse or whoever's going to look at it. So my notes are available at medicalcodingbyjen.com. Just go there, and you can go to the tab that says shop down there. But for now, this is what my notes say here. I've got the 1-word difference that you need to look for in your exam. And I also have down notes like this, that you cannot times these, which is so handy to have because you see here we've got 2 answers that say times 2. We can't times these codes. They're not allowed to be timesed. That's half your battle in a lot of coding. So that gets you down to 50-50 shot, and you haven't even read 1 word of the question. Now you just need to know, did I use a dipstick to do the test, or did I use an analyzer? So let's check out our question. We're not reading the question. We don't need to know who the patient is. We don't need to know what tests are being done. I just need to know how the test is being done. Is it being done with a dipstick or an analyzer? So we're just skimming, usually from the bottom up, looking for those words or AKA words that mean the same thing. So you need to be sort of a walking thesaurus. That's a hard word to say. I guess. Who said that? Michelle. I wrote the name Michelle and Melissa a ton today, putting them in the raffle. So do you see the word? Somebody's saying it is B. Are you guys seeing the word dipstick in here? Where's dipstick? They would have to say it. What they said was they used a chromiography. What is a chromiography? Graphy should tell you That's a machine, which is aka analyzer. So, A is your answer. Yep. So that's another new word you can write down underneath the CPT code for 80307. You could put chromiography, and now you've got an extra word underneath there to look for instead of analyzer. Super handy dandy. All right, let's see about our next one. We have two that are in the 60s. I'd go see what those are about real quick. The first one in numerical order is 88-160. What is that? What's going on there? 88-160. Oh, cytopathy. Oh, Lord, pap smears. All right. 88-160 is other source. We probably don't use anytime the CPT code says anything about other or non-specific or whatever. It's usually not the answer. So I'm going to think that's not the answer. 64 is manual. First, you need to know on any pap smears, is the test manual or automated? Know that first before you worry about too much that's in the CPT code descriptors, because that'll help you eliminate answers down to a workable situation. So 142 is super close. It's on the same page. It is a manual also pap smear. And our 74, where are you at? You're hiding. There you are. You are automated. So we have one automated and two manuals. That's the first thing you need to look up. If it's a difference between A and B, because both of those are manuals, our 42, your one word difference with that one is preservative free, and the other one is the Beth test, BETH. But let's just see if it's automated or manual first. So right here, we're just skimming for the word automated. It's right there. Automated system, that's all we needed. We didn't even need the other ones. So you know your answer is C. That's all you needed from that question. If it had been manual, then you would have just looked for preservative-free or that Beth word that's in the parentheses. It's got that word in that parentheses in the CPT code descriptor. I hope that's helpful, guys. All right. Our next one. We've got two that are in the 222s, whatever. They got 2 2s. Let's go see what's going on with these codes. 822. Hey, Sammy, walk off, buddy. Go on. Go somewhere else. All right, 822. (822) 71 is an other source, which is a child code, which would need to go up to its mama to see what's going on, which is guaiac, and it's from an other source, probably not other. We'll see. 72 is guaiac also, and it is 1 to 3. Let's see. See our questions. See what we did. What did we do? We did a stool sample in the office. And this word is mentioned twice. That is not in either one of my CPT codes that I just looked up. So we need to go hunt somewhere else. Let's try the 836. 836. 836, what, 30? That's leucoferrin. Quantitative. Nope, it's not in that one either. Okay, well, our answer is D. You don't have to go look at it. I would just pick it and move on to my next question. You don't need to verify what you already know because we eliminated all those. Then there's no other possible answer. But for now, we can go to it and let's go see what it says, right? Let's just go see because we got all the time in the world. But during your medical coding exam, normally you have about 144 seconds per question. You don't need to look it up just to verify you're correct. If you've already eliminated these 3, don't bother looking up that one. Just pick it and move on. 8, 9. What am I looking up? 5, 5, 5. Yep. Leukocytes. Leukocytes for our leukocytes analysis. That's helpful. Yep. Leukocyte analysis. Super helpful. All right. This one. We've got 2 with the same first answer. I like to look at it first before I look at the differences between the second code, just to see if there's any parentheticals or do nots that say don't use this code, and that might help alleviate some of this stuff. So 89258, we're on the same page. 58, cytoprevis of an embryo. 58 is cryo. We're doing cryo, embryo, and there's no do nots or anything else really, so that's cool. Our 42 and 46, let's see what our differences are on those two. 983, 42. 42 is storage, so I'm just going to write storage. And then our 46, no, 3, did I say the right number? 89346, yep, is oocytes. 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 Any of it showing up? No? Good gracious. There we go. Sorry about that. .46 is also storage. It is storage of the oocytes. 42 is storage of the embryos. So do we have embryos or do we have the eggs from the mom? Or do we have embryos that have already been fertilized? What are we storing? What are we storing? We are storing oocytes. That's all we needed for that question. That's the only one that's doing the oocytes. Right? It is C. What is the mama code for 46? So 46 is way over here. So you're looking for a code that comes before it that is not indented. That is the mama code. 42 is the mama code for 46. So everything that mama is up to that parentheses is in this one, it's in that one, and it's in that one. Everything after the parentheses is by itself. This one does embryos, this one does sperm, this one does tissue, and this one does oocytes. If you have not read, there's a page up here in the front of the book. It says something about use of this, how to use this book. Many people sell that information about what the differences are between the codes and what a mama code is or a child code is, but it says it right here on the instructions of how to use the CPT book. It's right there. This is a mama code and this is a child code. It explains it here, but I think I do a better job of it than the words do. But anyway, that's what there is. That's worth a reading if you have not read that page. That will give you all the highfalutinous words of all that. Get y'all back up in here. There we go. All right. Let's see. Let me get y'all back to where it's not blurry. Okay. All right. We've got none of them anywhere near each other. They're all over the place. So I'm going to start with D, see what the difference is, because it's first in numerical sequence. I don't like to go backwards. Anyway, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 10. 8, 6, 7, 10 is an antibody for influenza virus. Antibody, influenza. Cool. 8, 7, 2, 7, 5. 8, 7, 2. Thank you, Mel. 8, 7, 2, 7, 5 is, it's also an influenza, but it's influenza B. But you got to look at code number 60 to see what its parent or whatever is. And that is an antigen detected by immunofluorescent. And these are enzyme techniques. Ooh, influenza B. Influenza B. And 7400. 7400. Influenza A and B. This one's A and B. And B. And 878. Lord, all over the place. 87804. 06 was on my exam last year, and this one's influenza, but you got to go look at mama, which is the 802. This is antigen. Antigen for influenza. So are we doing antigen or what? How are we doing this test? We are doing it by enzyme immunoassay antibodies. So which one was the antibodies? It's correct. It is the 04. Very good, MK. Wait a minute, MK. You saw this one this morning with tutoring with me, didn't you? Her and I were working on this one together today. That's so much fun. Yep. What else did I have? She saw that one this morning. She did. We did some anesthesia ones too this morning, but I do have to. Did I put one down here? I thought I did. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it at the beginning. Got another anesthesia one for you that you didn't see this morning, MK. Let me see. Where did I put it? It's on up. On up. What did I do with it? That's it. Did I do this one? Right here. All right. Don't read the question. Go to the codes first. Let's go see what the differences are between the codes. 008. 008. 008. 42 is our first one. Got to look at mama code because it is underneath the 40. Make sure. But it is an amniocentesis. What's 46? That's radical hysterectomy. And 44 is abdominal resection. No. Yep. Everybody think it's B? Gotta be B, right? I don't know, Miss Daly, about that. I recommend you use the HipPix book from AAPC because they put in CMS publications that they use all for your compliance questions and basic coding guidelines in the back of it. Their book is 800 plus pages long, and it's just going to be extra questions in there for sure. This one's B. Time. Anesthesia time. The first thing I do when I see an anesthesia question with time is I go through and skim for the word that says surgery and I get rid of it. I don't want it in there at all. I get rid of it. Keep only when the anesthesia starts and when it ends. And that's the only time that matters for anesthesia, which is 51 minutes. Be sure you know that. Yep. Just get rid of any surgery time. All together. B is your answer. Yes. MK already saw these. Try to find her something that she has not seen. But I think MK did all of these today. Let's do this one. It's got all these QS's and P1s and what the heck is all that mess? Well, in the front of your anesthesia guidelines, they do tell you about your anesthesia modifiers. That's where you get your P1s, P2s, and P6s. There's also qualifying circumstances, like if you have a patient with extreme age who's older than 70 or less than 1 year of age. You need to make sure you go over those and know what the differences are. The other thing is your HipPix book. Your HipPix book has all your anesthesia modifiers in it that go with these other status modifiers. Those are not listed here in the CPT book, and you need those. You need to go to the HipPix book and transfer these over there to that page. So you can do this with only having one book open instead of having two. By the way, we have an 830 and an 860, two different ones. Let's go see what our differences are real quick. And then we're going to do that one that MK and I both got totally wrong today and see what you guys get. 018. 018. 30. It's an open procedure. And our 60. A160 is just casting supplies. Are we a 30 or a 60? Let's see. What are we doing? Are we casting this patient, or did we do an open surgery? You did that last night. Good job. Perfect. Yep. This means an open reduction. So absolutely, we are going to get rid of the casting. Then we just need to know, because the P1 is in both answers that are remaining, all we need to know is, did we do QS or not? QS, if we look back at our little cheat sheet that we write in of all those modifiers, QS is for MAC, M-A-C, which stands for monitored anesthesia care. So we did do it, so we would pick C. Yep. Let's go look at this last anesthesia that MK and I did today, where we both got them wrong. All right. Let's go look up our differences in these CPT codes. 01382, 013, 013. Okay. I can't draw. Okay. So an open procedure means that we used a scalpel and we cut open the body so that we can look at it with our eyeballs on the inside. Okay. And then we stitch it back up with stitches afterwards. And they use a lot of fancy words like Vicryl or whatever to stitch it back up. You'll see that at the bottom of the thing. Or they'll use words like incision for an open procedure. A closed procedure won't say any words of incision, and it won't have stitches in it, the name of the stitches that they used. It will say trocar, which is a camera, or it'll be a scope. So they use cameras on the end of sticks and just puncture your skin with those cameras, and then they work with those cameras to do whatever they're doing. So that's the difference between open and closed procedures. So just so you know. But that particular closed procedure for that patient, a lot of times they're either reducing the fracture or manipulating the fracture back into place. And those can be closed procedures too. So just so you know. These different CPT codes. Yep, medical coding by Jen.com. You can buy the notes there in the shop. I like to circle all my codes. I use orange to say whether they're closed procedures, and then green for when they're open procedures, because I think that is handy because a lot of the times you just need to figure out if your procedure is opened and closed. You can use whatever kind of format you want to use to mark those codes, but I like doing that because orange kind of makes me want to stop, and then green for go. I don't know. Anyway, 01382 is anesthesia for a diagnostic. Where am I at? 82 diagnostic scope. Diagnostic scope. R90 is a closed procedure. What is it? Closed what? Procedure on a tib-fib fracture or something or another. Our 1400 is an open procedure. And our 04, you have to look at the mama code because it's 04 is a child code of 00, which is open. So first, decide, is your procedure open or closed? What do you guys think? And MK, don't tell them the answer. Let them try to figure it out. What is MK thinking? Got a lot of open and a lot of closed. So, what's going on with diagnostic? If we're doing diagnostic means I don't have a diagnosis. I don't know what's wrong with the patient's knee. So I need to go in there with the cameras and look-see and see what's going on. We do have a preoperative diagnosis. So we already know we're going in there to do something. So diagnostic is usually out the door when you've already got a diagnosis. We already know what's going on inside the knee. Then we did a lot of fixing. How did we fix this? We used a scope, right? We see that. Which one of these says scope? We've got anything else say scope besides that diagnostic? Because it said scope in it. Does anything else say a scope? Out of the 390, we look at it. There's no mention of a scope at all in the 390, right? Good job, Twinkle. In 400, it says it's open procedure or it's a scope. So I put open there because I forgot to look because it said or scope. So it could be open or closed. So that was my first mistake by not having open and closed. And I have it written under next to my, but didn't pay attention, opened or closed, but didn't pay attention because I was doing open, closed, you know, do all the differences. Plus I've got them highlighted. But when I highlighted this, I did it as just open. I didn't circle the scope as orange. I should have done another color and done this as a combo. So I need to do my orange right there. So I remember that this is open or a scope. Yeah. Notes could have been better for this one. Well, our 404 did a disc R location of the knee, and I don't see that in here. We did the nerve, and we did a meninectomy, but I don't see the discarcation that we would have done. So, yeah, we didn't do that one. We didn't do that one. We did do that one. B is your answer for that one. For sure. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you for the little dinosaurs. Those are so cute. And the kitty cat paws. They're so awesome. Let me see if I can find us an E&M to do in the next few minutes. Hard one, though. This one's not going to give us any MDM or time. You're going to have to bill your office visit. Thank you for the kitty cat paws. Without having an MDM or time. So you need to look at the review of the body systems. How many things did we review or go over? Use your chart on page 17, 16, wherever that is. Tells you about how many unique tests if the doctor looked at an x-ray or an EKG or an ultrasound. Those are all unique. Count them up. And let us know what you think that the risk is for this. We have uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. We have a lab work that was reviewed, meds reviewed, eye exam a few months ago. She's under a lot of stress. Hypertension is controlled. Your assessment and plan. You plan and what you ordered was the hemoglobin. Thinking about considering insulin. But you didn't make a decision to do insulin or anything about it. Pretty much uncertain. High is usually reserved for circle in the drain about to die, or needs to go to the hospital for some sort of intervention. If I don't intervene today, they're going to be in trouble. It doesn't look like the doctor did a lot of intervention. So, come see me in 3 months. Doesn't seem like it would be that too scary. So, yeah. I like our moderate since they did a medicine review. I agree with that. Thank you, Twinkle. Our risk is moderate. The patient has follow-up on a chronic conditions. Chronic conditions are both established. Diabetes is worsening. 2 chronics, 1 worsening, 1 stable. A mild exacerbation of progress. So if we look at this chart on 17, we would look through this and try to find something that matches. We've got 2 or more stable chronic. No, we got 1 chronic with exacerbation, and then we have 1 chronic that's stable. There's no exasperation on anything in the lows. And if it was going to be a high, we would have to have severe exasperation. And they said mild. So the only two that have exasperation is moderate and high. So since they said mild, we'll keep it at moderate for sure. Yeah, but many people run around with hemoglobin A1Cs at 14 for the next 3 months, and they're not hospitalized for it at all. It should be under 6.5, but many patients are running around with hemoglobins of 10 or 11 every day, and we see them and we're like, come back in 3 months. They're not going to change their diet, and they're not taking their meds properly, or their insurance company won't approve them, of course, and they're not getting them refilled in a timely manner because they're too expensive. What about this one? This is straight, low, moderate, high. You're getting right reoccurrent little stuffies in the right breast. We reviewed films. And the transmission suggested it was a cystic lesion. Because of the ultrasound, they're deciding that the patient should have surgery. She should have a simple mastectomy. Patient agrees to the operation. What is the level of risk for this office visit? Are we straightforward, low, moderate, high? And we can again use our table, but this time we're going to use this chart because it'll talk about well, this one or that one, the last one too, because it'll talk about decisions for surgery, those kind of things can be there in that last column. Are we going to be straightforward, low, moderate, high? For all we did was review her films and then decide that she should have a mastectomy. I would think moderate too, because if we look on that chart, it says decision regarding a minor surgery or something. But actually, they want the answer to be low. It is an established patient with one problem that is a worsening. They reviewed the ultrasound. There is a moderate risk, but because this needs to match the MDM needs to match out of the history, and the exam have to match with the MDM. We didn't meet or exceed the level to bill moderate. We only met, the office visit only met the criteria for low. They didn't do an evaluation from head to toe. There wasn't the eyes, the ears, the blood pressure wasn't looked at. Our exam is super low. We did a problem-focused exam where I don't even think they looked at their chest. They just looked at the film of the chest. They didn't do any kind of exam on her. They just reviewed the film. So that knocks out our decision-making down to a lower level. Her history was barely gone over. We don't know anything about her, what meds she's on, what type of surgery she's ever had before. We don't know anything. So because her history and her physical exam with that doctor that day was low, it knocks out our surgery, decision for surgery, to a lower risk level. It's crazy. Very difficult one. You won't see anything like that on the CPC exam, but if you ever wanted to take COC or CCS, you might see something like that. Thank you for all the roses. That is so often. They suggested only. Yeah. That's really good, Mel. It's an excellent score, actually. So what I did on this chart on 17, I put example, decision, reviewed ultrasound, simple mastectomy, gynoplasty, whatever that word was, that it was a low. I put it in our low box, along with UTI, stuff like that. That way I have it. Anytime I find questions that tell me something that is a little confusing or unusual, I'll just write them in there. That way it's easier. And y'all get them on my notes so y'all know what to do with them too. It's easy peasy. All right, guys. I'll probably be going live with some more book prep on YouTube on Saturday. For sure. Who was wanting tutoring on Saturday? Somebody. Oh, Christy. Christy is wanting tutoring on Saturday. It'll have to be afternoon time. My Christmas present from my mama is coming in tomorrow between 7 and noon. It's a new dishwasher for the kitchen, which I desperately need. Absolutely. Oh, there's my Lester. Hey, Lester. Oh, yeah, don't let me disturb you. So it's coming in tomorrow. So I got to put that up. Look through this house. Oh, did Mom already leave? She already left. So there's Chloe, my other little demon. Chloe. But, yeah, we're getting a new one of those tomorrow. So exciting. My mom got it for me for Christmas. But, yeah, I've got to do dishes now. So I'm going to go do those. I hope this tutoring session was handy and y'all learned a lot. Hello. 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 Is it dinner time? We going to get some dinner? You don't need to be up here on the counter. Come on. Go over here to the kitchen table. You got something you can sit on. Anyway, I know everybody else has to do dishes too. Yeah, I got to go feed the kitty cats. But I hope this was helpful, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll announce in our Discord group when I'm going to go live tomorrow. I'm going to do the dishwasher, and then I'll do Chrissy, her tutoring, and then I'll come do some book prep with you guys. And if you haven't entered into the drawing, since the boys aren't here to do the drawing, be sure and send that email, and y'all can be entered into the drawing. I got everybody put in that's already sent an email. But the boys will be back and they can do that drawing, okay? I don't know, probably 3-ish, 4-ish o'clock, somewhere around there tomorrow afternoon. Somewhere. Okay, MK. That's cool. Throw your name in there. Y'all are so welcome. I hope to see y'all back tomorrow. We'll do some more book prep. And thank you for all the likes on TikTok and on the TikTok videos. And if y'all need anything, just holler. Got to do bottles for my 7-month-old. Get it done, Crystal. All right, guys. I will post this up on YouTube, too. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Good night. Thanks, Elise.